G'day, I'm Daniel Davies, and this afternoon I'm going to show you how you can make your own crimp and line touch sensitive electronic switch like this one, also known as a G-spot. And with one of these in your car, it could stop it getting stolen, even if the thief has your keys. So bear with me, and in the next 5 or 10 minutes I shall show you how you can make your own. Before you are all the parts and materials you require to make your own G-spot. There is a lot more information about this product on the website at the bottom. There is also an instructional animation there showing how to make a similar product using surface mount components on a small piece of circuit board. This version is a little different in that no circuit board is required. Start with the PNP transistor and then cut off the base and collector legs where I have. Then take your 220 ohm resistor and cut one leg off quite close like that. Now solder the 220 ohm resistor onto the collector of the transistor like that. Now take your 10k ohm resistor and leave about 15-17 mils before soldering that onto the base of the transistor like that. Now, chop off the ends of your 220 and 10k ohm resistors like that before taking your SCR and cutting off the anode and gate legs where I have. It's also a good idea to file the corners round. Now take your transistor with resistors attached and solder the 220 ohm resistor onto the gate of your SCR and the emitter of the transistor onto the anode in the middle. 330k ohm resistor can be soldered between the emitter of the transistor and the 10k ohm resistor up here. Next, take your 0.01 microfarad capacitor and solder that across the 330k ohm resistor. Okay. Now, crimp the butt splice connection onto the end of the cathode of the SCR and completely seal the end of the butt splice with some solder. Most important. Now you can solder on the wire that goes to the vehicle's G-spot. Once that's done, use some flux remover to remove all the flux from your circuit. Now, use some isopropyl alcohol to clean off any flux remover residue. It's a good idea, and it just makes sure everything is totally clean. Right. Let that isopropyl alcohol evaporate. And then coat the circuit with lacquer. Here's one I've done earlier. I've also put a bead of hot glue around the base of the butt splice connection. Now, take your copper and a little bit of heatsink paste before getting your ring crimp and pop rivet, and pass the pop rivet. On this one it's going to go through the ring crimp, then the copper, and then the SCR. Like that. Okay, and now I'm going to apply the pop rivet like this, just to lock everything in nice and tight. Right, now wrap some tape around the top of the butt splice connection to stop it shorting out against the copper later. Okay, that keeps it all nice and insulated. Then feed the whole assembly inside your bit of heat shrink tubing. Okay, like that, all the way, so it sits in the middle there. Then seal this end up with some heat, and that helps melt the hot glue at the same time. Okay, let that cool down a little bit. Now, stand it upright, grab your 3 to 5 millilitres of fiberglass resin, pre-mixed with the hardener of course, and pour that down the side there, trying not to fill up the ring crimp, otherwise you might stop it making contact with the wire later when it's installed. Really quite important to try and make sure there are no air bubbles in the resin. So squeeze it at the bottom, push the bubbles up, alright, and then once they're up and out of the bottom of the unit, let it go to suck some resin down inside. It's one of the most time-consuming processes involved in the manufacture of this product. Pays to periodically check the level of the resin and top it up if it drops as it replaces any air underneath. Right, here we are, a few hours on, our resin's gone nice and hard. It's time to thread the sensing wire through the heat shrink. I'm using a needle with my wire attached to the eye, poking that through the side of the heat shrink and gently pulling the wire through the hole all the way. Look, the sun's come out, it's beautiful now, and there we go, all nice and tidy. Apply some heat. To the end of the heat shrink, and it all shrinks up nicely, keeps it all nice and tidy. Now it's just a matter of slicing off the excess heat shrink with a sharp knife. Not quite soft as it looks. Yeah, that one's coming off better. And there we have a rather crooked G-spot. Last thing we do is test our G-spot. G-spot here, cathode to the negative, through the load to the power source, positive. At the same time as you touch the G-spot, touch the negative and the light comes on.